Hey everybody, Eric from Teachers Talking Tech here, and I've got 3 hacks about Seesaw Activities that you need to know if you are using Seesaw Activities for distance learning. Here's hack number 1, and it's actually all about your class settings. So what I want you to do is make sure you go to your wrench in the class, go down to students, and make sure that they are either signed in one-to-one devices or with email or Google login. If it's set to shared devices, your kids are missing out on a key feature of Seesaw Activities, and that is that when they complete an activity, it does not disappear from their activities feed. When your class is set to one-to-one devices or email Google, and your students respond to an activity, when they're done, then it disappears from this activity feed, so they know they finished it. This is really useful for your students, and it does not work if you're set for a shared environment. Okay, let's talk about hack number 2. So hack number 2 is all about how you share your directions with kids. So one of the things that I've heard from a lot of teachers is they love the way that you can add directions or instructions with video or things like that right here. But the thing that they don't like is, especially for little kids, when they want to go back and listen to those instructions, they need to tap on the instructions again, open the video again, listen to the video again. I'm going to show you a way to get around that. Instead of going here to multimedia instructions, I'm going to start down here at the template. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create that template for students. So let's say we're doing a short vowel lesson. So I'm going to do short A and long A. Okay? And I'm going to set this up so it's all set for my kiddos, and I'm going to have maybe some labels for them to move around. So we have some short A's and some long A's. Let's just pretend I have a bunch more. Okay? Now, here's the key. I'm going to use Multipage. So Multipage is a feature if you have Seesaw Plus or Seesaw for Schools that you can add extra pages to your post. Now, I'm going to go to these 3 little dots under this post and hit duplicate. So now I actually have 2 pages that are the exact same. Now I'm going to go over here on page 1. I'm going to tap on these 3 dots and do my background. I'm going to make this background different than page 2. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that is page 1 is going to be my teacher instructions. Page 2 is going to be where my kids actually do the template or respond. So here I go. I hit record. Now I can start teaching my kids the lesson. So I can use my arrow and talk about the vowels. I can move these things into place for them. Here we go. And then when I'm done, I hit the done button. Okay? Now, you'll notice that, oh, and I did them in the wrong order. Hey, you know what? No problem. All I do is long press, and I can actually move that up to the top. That's another hack that I didn't even know I was going to teach you today. Let me show you that again. If you have your pages in the wrong order, long press, then slide. There we go. So this one up here has my recording of how to do the lesson. Then page 2 is the one that my kids can manipulate. All right, I turn that in. Another thing I usually add when I do these is I'll add up here for multimedia instructions. I will take a video of myself and tell my class. I'll say, hey, boys and girls, I did the directions on page 1. Make sure you go to page 2 and move those words around. So I'll just tell them how I want them to do it. All right, here is the next hack. And this one I've heard from a lot of teachers that when they create activities, they end up having to create a template 2 times. So an example of this would be that same thing that I just did. If I was making a sort where the kids had to move around labels, I would have to make it 1 time up here in the multimedia instructions, and then I have to make it all the way over again when I do the template for students. Here's a way you can get around that. Skip over multimedia instructions and go right to the template. Okay, so let's use that same example where I created short A and long A, all right? So I go through all this trouble to set up this template, and if I was going to put it into my instructions, I would have to recreate it again. And there's no way right now in Seesaw where I can just copy and paste that. But here is the trick. What you do is you're going to use screen recording on your device to record your actions. All right? So let me talk a little bit about screen recording. Okay, you can't record it in Seesaw because there's no way to move around the labels later. So what you're going to do is you are going to, if you're on a Mac, you're going to use the QuickTime player. And on a QuickTime player, you can do a screen recording. All right, that's actually what I'm doing right now to record this video. If you are on a Chromebook or a Windows machine, go to screencastify.com and add it to Chrome. It's free and you can record your screen. If you are on an iPad, no problem. Go to your settings, then go down here to Control Center, and then Customize Controls. All right? You're going to want to make sure that screen recording has been enabled. It'll probably be down here at first, then you just need to hit the plus button to make sure that it's up here on top. Now you're able to record your screen on your iPad. Just bring up your control center. On most iPads, you pull from the top down, but on some, you have to push from the bottom up to bring up your control center. Right down here is the screen recording button. One pro tip that I will give for you is that what you're going to want to do is you want to make sure you long press that button. Okay? The first time you record for the day, long press that button and turn on your microphone. If you just press the screen recording button, the default is no microphone. So long press on that, turn on your microphone, and then you can actually record your screen. Now here's why that's important. Let's pretend I've started my screen recording. Okay, so I'm using Screencastify or whatever I'm using. I start recording and I tell the kids how to do this sort. All right? Now, when I'm all done explaining it to them, I stop the screen recording and just move these back to where I want them for my kids. Now I hit the check mark. For the multimedia instructions, I can click that, click upload, and then select from my computer that screen recording I just made. So that screen recording I made with Screencastify or on my iPad that's in my camera roll or that I made with QuickTime, I can upload that video right into my directions, and then the kids have it, and I didn't have to recreate that entire template that I made down here. Okay, there's your 3 Seesaw Activities hacks. I hope they are helpful for you, and if you have any questions, just put them down below in the comments. All right, this is Eric from Teachers Talking Tech signing off. Thanks for watching.